Hey, what's up, Joel? How's it going? I hope you've been enjoying your week. My week's been okay, kind of busy for the most part. Son of the day, unique luxury of hmm, aca- Academies, however it's pronounced. I still haven't even got around to getting the one fragrance I want from Unique Luxury, which is Burrell. It's highly underrated, and a hidden gem. And I think Imma get it, sometime next week, perhaps. But Unique Luxury has some interesting perfumes. I had a sample of one, and I went through the whole thing, unfortunately, and now I need a full bottle. I think it's pronounced Burrell. Beril, and it's such a beautiful scent. I think it's highly underrated, and it happens to be a hidden gem below the radar. Not many people talk about that one, and it has a beautiful scent profile, great longevity and performance. Speaking of colognes, I have gotten my nose on some new pickups recently that I got in. Um, Especially a recommendation from one of my subscribers, and, I gotta give him a shout out, so shout out to, uh, Grimlock, my boy that I know outside of content personally. He gave me a solid recommendation, and I blind bought it. I don't recommend blind buying. I would rather recommend sampling first. However, this one right here, Vivamore Parfums Own the Now. It's a new release. I went for it and I bought it. It was on sale directly on their website. I paid 57 bucks for it. That's a no-brainer. That was a steal. I really, really like this one for a niche fragrance. I get solid performance with this one. What I find interesting is it's like a citrus explosion in the opening. You got Italian bergamot, Sicilian mandarin, and in the heart you have Colombian cardamom with a slight spice. And then the apple in the heart provides enough freshness. It's not overly sweet. But what really stands out with this one is the dry down. You got tonka bean, sandalwood, sugar, and Madagascan vetiver. So it's like a creamy vetiver dry down. And man, did this one not disappoint. 10 hours on skin for me, and I'm happy I bought it. Tobacco Vanille, yes, that's a pretty good designer brand, and that's the only one I'm familiar with. I'm not too crazy for Tom Ford all that much. I haven't really checked out many of them because they're not nothing against Tom Ford, they're just not on my radar at the moment. But, yeah, this is my favorite one of my favorite niche fragrances that I got this year. Happy I bought it. And not too many people are talking about Vivamore, Parfums on the now, but I think it's gonna be a hidden gem, underrated, and I think some people are gonna end up sleeping on it, but this is phenomenal, and I find it to be year-round and signature scent worthy. Creed, I own a couple, but not too many, maybe 4 of them. Um, I like certain ones by Creed. not all of them. I don't really need to get my nose on every single Creed. Did you check out Juicebox Wave of Freedom? No, I didn't. That's actually on my radar. I thought about grabbing a sample. And the other one I would like to check out by Juicebox is that I think 14-Hour Dream. I like the story behind that because I love psychedelic rock, especially Pink Floyd. So I would enjoy that fragrance. But without further ado, I'm going to get right to it. So when I got my personal fragrance made by Sensual Obsessions, he sent me a free sample. And it's like an 8 milliliter, and it's called Porthole Paradise. And I gotta say, he did a really good job on his take on Lumari Porthole. And I find this one a little more interesting. The passion fruit here really shines and comes through. And far as performance goes, it doesn't disappoint. This one just sits on my skin. Such a beautiful summer scent. So, shout out to Sensual Obsession. You did it again, my friend. You nailed this one. Porthole Paradise, solid banger. And last but not least, one of my other newest pickups since I've done a couple shorts on it is Rasasi Hawass Highness. And I think this one is my favorite dupe of the year. This one just it does it for me. I don't know. I really like this one. And I have to agree with a couple new subscribers on my channel. It definitely is kind of slightly fresh in the opening, but you really get more of that spicy ginger kick. It's almost like ginger forward with a floral woody dry down, and it's all vibrato. I do not get any Castley. I don't know where that's coming from, but this one, Rasasi did a good job with this take. This is good. Really, really good. So I'm happy I pulled the trigger on this one. I gotta say, I'm not completely crazy for all dupes, but some of them, especially when I get my nose on the original of what they're doing, Highness was a good release, and I'm glad to add this to my wardrobe. And the sad part is this crazy chrome bottle. It's great for picking up fingerprints, but you can't really see how much juice is in here. And I do know this. I've worn it the last couple of days. I worn it yesterday. I wore it the day I got it, and I ended up wearing it again today, and I just like this one so much. So, currently, this is number 1, my favorite dupe of the year. And I did order Hawass Overdose. So, I can't wait to get my nose on that because I do not own any dupes that is duping Parfums de Marly Altair. So I ended up buying Recessi Hawass Overdose just to see if it's close, similar, or if it's dead on. But I do see Overdose being a really good release. So I do got a couple things going on that are will be coming. So Creed. What do we like about Creed? Creed fragrance. Well, they use high quality naturals, but they also still use synthetic aroma chemicals to help push out those natural perfume oils. I thought I'd talk about some of that stuff today. A lot of people say, oh, one brand is just too synthetic, or, as a whole, not all small indie niche fragrance houses are synthetic, but when you make cologne, you will have fixatives, additives, scent aroma chemicals like, to name a few, ISOE Super, Ambroxan, Ambrofix. Those help push out perfume oils and help with performance and longevity itself. I've been learning this kind of stuff ever since I started my own fragrance journey. And one thing I've learned is how to make your own cologne, and I'm still learning some other things as well. And, sometimes you could pinpoint what fragrance is too screechy, too headache inducing, what makes you sneeze a lot. I've come across that quite a bit where I've gotten my nose on so many Latifahs. And here's the funny thing, okay? I don't hate Latafa. What I don't like is a lot of their fragrance make me sneeze too much. And I do have a sensitive nose. Owning Rasasi, really sneeze, but something with Latafa fragrances just makes me sneeze so much, I can't even really enjoy the fragrance. I like Ambroxan. I don't mind Ambroxan, depending how much is being used. For example, my personal fragrance, I came up with the scent structure, most of the percentages pretty much. Um, One thing I can say about Ambroxan, if you go too high in percentages, it can over dominate a fragrance. And I happen to find that a lot with a lot of the Y flankers. And I noticed that with like YEDP and some of these other Yves Saint Laurent fragrances. And there's some other ones I've gotten my nose on where I feel like the percentage is too high. And even like neroli for that matter. Neroli, um, keeping that 1% for the scent percentage is the best way. It's safe. Anything higher than that, that can just kill the entire scent profile. So my fragrance in the dry down here is Scott Ambroxan, but it's at 3%, where it's there, but it's not noticeably strong. It's not gonna drive you crazy, but it's in there, but it's where I wanted it to be. The Ambroxan is kinda in the background, lurking, if that makes sense. So, it's pretty cool, to understand scent percentages. Your top, your mid, your base all have to equal 100%, and then it's mixed with the perfume oil and perfumer's alcohol, so everything blends up correctly. So it's a good thing to know, you know? I find making cologne very interesting. How to make them last, how to dilute, how to make certain notes hang out in the background, things like that. Oak moss. Yeah, I like oak moss. That's a good one. So, pretty much my personal fragrance is built around exotic fruits, some nice florals, and very deep, dark woods with a lot of depth and character. And my first one is pretty much about, where I started in my fragrance journey and where I am today through fragrance and who I am. So, I do have another one I plan on doing for myself sometime next month, and that one is gonna be interesting because it's very complex. Yeah, I like mango, depending what it's being blended with. I actually enjoy mango when there's oud in the base. I don't know why. I like those slightly funky tropical fragrances with mango. And I don't like them where they're screeching off my skin. I don't like them where they're just loud in your face kinda mango. I like what's a good mango scent? Day 3, Bonnie. That one was done perfect. I like that one, how the mango there, it's kinda like a natural mango. Like you just took the mango, cut it right in half. What? Don't think Speak English, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. No Ebonics over here. Yeah, good mango mixed with incense. Yes. Yeah, I would like, you know, for me, speaking of mango, the next fragrance release I do will have um mango in it, but it's also gonna have cannabis, some heavier woods, different notes, and it's gonna be really interesting. And even that one, I think in that one will have incense where I want it kind of be a spiced, smoky, boozy, dank, tropical fragrance is where I want my fragrance to be. And I just like having my own personal fragrance because one, it doesn't relate to anything and it has absolutely no similarities to anything and it's strictly to my liking. And I gotta say, my personal fragrance, I get a solid 10 hours in on skin. But what I am gonna do is send a couple good friends of mine that I truly trust some decants so they can at least experience what I created far as the scent structure goes for and the overall scent profile. Other than that, Kevin at Sensual Obsessions did the perfuming, and he brought my vision to life. He did a good job. And it's such a beautiful scent. I gotta say, if I was to only live with one fragrance and one fragrance alone out of everything back there and what's still on my bookshelf case off to the side, I would take my own personal fragrance because I can live with this for the rest of my life and I could wear it year round spring, summer, fall, winter, day or night. It's just that good. So I could kind of relate to other people who have collabs and have their own personal fragrance. I could see why. Hello. And I think I have another fragrance that has cannabis in it too. And it's by Essential Harmony and it's called Quantum. And man, does it smell so good in that one. That's another good one too. And I like cannabis, you know, in cologne. It's different, it's unique, kind of earthy, kind of has that like green dankness to it. So I'm always interesting getting my nose onto like different types of colognes too. But far as vintage cologne goes, I think my favorite vintage cologne would be um Dracar Noir and let's see. What's the other one? Dior Fahrenheit, and maybe Caswell Massey Jockey Club. That's vintage for me. But other than that, I don't go that crazy for all of them. So, shit. Speaking of Kevin at Sensual Obsessions, he just texted me. Oh man. All right. I don't even think I think he forgot my name on uh social media. Could you recommend an alternative to Joma Shop? There's all kinds. Um, Depends where you live, too. And um, I know Joma Shop does international, but I think uh maybe discount perfumes. Oh, you're in Canada? Um, I would say Olfactory LLC, but they don't really sell dupes at all. They mainly sell niche. You ain't gonna find too many dupes there. Max Aroma, that's another website you can try. Uh, Aura Fragrance, that's another one. Vemba, you might find some Middle Easterns there, but Aura Fragrance is another great place. Aura Fragrance, they have some, decent prices there. You can find some, for example, some Lattafas, some Rasasis. They do have some pretty decent prices. Uh, I occasionally shop at Aura Fragrance. Sometimes I'll shop at Max Aroma. Sometimes I'll go to Olfactory LLC. Uh, check check Olfactory LLC. They have African Rose. Frag Flex is another one. Fragrance Buy is another one. But if you're looking for something around in the $200 price point, I know I saw African Rose on Olfactory LLC. And usually, um, Olfactory LLC tends to have a little more, maybe, 10 to maybe $30 cheaper. But I used to buy from Frag Buy, but they have Frag Flex now, but when it comes to niche, I usually stick with 2 websites. It's Aura Fragrance or I go directly to Olfactory LLC because I feel like they're a little more cheaper or even like Aura Fragrance. It depends what I'm looking for. And sometimes fragrancenet.com, sometimes they could be hit and miss too. But if you're looking for African Rose, I would start going to Olfactory LLC. I saw it the other day. I'm always on that website looking at certain fragrances, seeing what interests me, if they got any new stock on some things that are currently on my radar. And sure enough, I saw they had African rose, Italian leather. They have quite a bit from Memo Paris in their stock that's in stock currently. Far as the other one, I'm not sure about that, but I would definitely at least search Olfactory LLC, maybe bookmark the price points down, add it to your basket, see where the tax is, and go that route. Put the name on it. And yeah, that's another good option too. But what I do Here's what I do when I buy fragrance. I pull up from all the websites that I currently buy from. There's like 6, and I'll type in what I'm looking for, I add them to the basket, and then I see who's the cheapest. And yeah, it might be even. It might be 10, $15 cheaper, 20, $30, whatever, but niche-wise, I either order from Max Aroma, Olfactory LLC, or a fragrance. Now, if I'm buying something like, Vivamore or Zaharoff, I'm directly buying from Zaharoff because 'cause you're not really gonna find that stuff in a fragrance store. Or if I want a day 3, I buy from day 3 during, fragrance, like, pre-sales. You're welcome. Yeah, you definitely gotta shop around. Speaking of Memo Paris, that is another, brand I would like to check out. African Rose is on my, list. It's not currently on my radar at the moment, but eventually I will be grabbing some. I would like to check out Italian leather because I do like leather, and I would like to check out African Rose. A couple of my other regulars who aren't here at the moment, they gave me some recommendations to check out African Rose. Maybe I'll see if I can find a sample, check it out, because I do like rose. I do like rose and fragrance. Rose is a beautiful fragrance, and I don't have too many rose fragrances other than 3, and that's, Mind Games friend or not Mind Games, but Zaharoff Black Rose Halfeti, Signature Rosé, and one of my 10 mil mini travel bottles from Boadicea the Victorious, and that's, Ardent. That is a beautiful rose fragrance, and there's a couple other ones I wanna check out, but African Rose, I'm definitely and eventually will get my nose on it at some point down the road. So, with that being said, there's all kinds of brands out there that I need to get my nose on, and I will eventually. Um, I'm looking to get I think, copperstill.com, they have like I think a 10 mil discovery set. I would like to check them out too. There's another one that Soulful Sente told me on Instagram. He told me one to check out, and he stands 10 toes firm on it. I forget the name of it by Boadicea the Victorious. And it starts with an N, and he said it's by far the best rose fragrance you could ever get your nose on. So, Imma have to check it out and see what he's talking about. I hear ho No, it's not that one. It's not that. I forget the name. It might be a D. It might be a D. I think it's like Desman or something like that. Something like that, some goofy, strange name, and he said, "You gotta get your nose on that. If you want a good rose, that I'm telling you, with 10 toes on the ground, I stand firm. That is the best rose scent I ever got my nose on." I haven't really explored anything from Omen Luxury yet. Omar Luxury. I'm not familiar with anything from them at all. And I haven't even got around to checking anything from Omar Luxury yet. There is a couple I would like to check out. Royal Incense. Yeah, I would like to check out Omen Luxury Royal Incense. There's another one. I forget the name. I think it's Reflection and Oud Aklegoria, maybe. I'm certain I said that name wrong. That's another one I would like to check out. Uh, hmm. Lorenzo Pizlaslia, however you say his name. I still haven't got around to that. I'm not familiar with Caden either. I haven't smelled anything from Omen Luxury at all. I wouldn't be able to help you there. I think the only Middle Eastern niche brand fragrances I do own is Amouage Meander Reflection and the Spirit of Dubai Bahar. Those are the only 2 I'm familiar with, and currently the only fragrances I do own. Because 'Cause I'm always going for fragrance brands that I really enjoy, that I really get into, and right now, currently, uh, my favorite I really like what Gallagher Fragrance does for me. I like how Daniel Gallagher brings fragrance to life, the way it moves me, the experience, and not just smelling good. I really like his creativity, his work, and what kinda notes he brings, and he's always doing different things, and he works with different notes most people don't work with. So, you know, Gallagher Fragrance is like, I'd have to be honest, probably my number 1 favorite small indie niche fragrance house of all time. Ever since I've bought Discovery sets, they sent me a, free sample pick not too long ago. I was lucky enough to get my nose on one of their newest releases was called Emerald Rendezvous, and I'm just amazed, you know? Yeah, Gallagher is my number 1 niche fragrance house. Number 2 would be Zaharoff. 3 would be Xerjoff, Suspiro, 4, and the list goes on. Does that mean I hate all these niche brands? No. I just know what I really enjoy the most, and I really like Gallagher fragrance. That's number 1 for me, but Caden, I have no idea what that is. Excuse me. And there's all kinds of wonderful artists out there. Essential Harmony, she does amazing stuff. And, you know, for example, here's one. Who would have ever thought Cranberry Blaze? You get a photorealistic cranberry with this fiery, dry down, very spicy and warm, kind of sweet. And Essential Harmony is another one. She does amazing work. She's not super expensive, and a lot of her fragrance performs if you're looking for performance. And she has almost every note you can think of that she works with. And I think she roughly charges what, $50 for a 50 milliliter bottle. And she's got some interesting scents. And if you like rose, I think she has some really interesting smoky rose fragrances for like $50. I forget the names of them, but I've been getting my nose on some new stuff by Essential Harmony, and she's doing some good stuff. Yes, that's it. Dasman. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that my buddy Soulful Sente told me to check out, and he said it's really damn good. That's the one I would like to check out sometime. Maybe I'll buy a little 10 mil mini travel size bottle off the website and check it out. I only own I only own maybe, uh, 2 by Bodicea, and my most worn Bodicea is Imperial. That is my absolute favorite one. It's half empty already. Yeah, I just noticed that. Matrix coder. Hmm, cool. 2 Matrix in the building. Nice. Man. So, without further ado, I do have a sample here, and I forgot I even had it. And Imma get my nose on it and spray it and see what this one has to offer. And we have Zaharoff Tabak. So I hear this is a pretty good tobacco scent. I'm familiar with leather tobacco, but I never really smelled the original. So let's get a few sprays here. Do 4. Mmm, mmm, that's good. Let that marinate, kinda alcohol-y at the moment, but so far I'm liking that. Zaharoff Tabak, I'm gonna have to add that sometime to my personal collection. Mmm, it's like sweet, warm, spicy, got a nice tobacco-like scent there. I think there's plum in this one. Maybe that's why I'm really liking this. This is good. This is actually more forgiving than leather tobacco, but this is good, more appealing. This would be great for fall and winter time, or maybe like a date night in the summer evening. However, this is really good. Man, is that good. I would take this over Tobacco Vanille. No offense to anybody out there, but I would take this over Tobacco Vanille. I feel like the tobacco here is more like realistic, kind of like earthy on my skin. So based off first impressions, I give this a, you know, 8.2 out of 10. This is pretty good. I like that. I'm gonna have to let GZ know after my live stream what I think about that. That's a good one. So, with that being said, how many of you guys that are watching my channel have any of you guys got your nose on some of the new Rasasi Hawass flankers like Exotic or Atlantis, Malibu, Cobra, or some of these new ones like Highness or Overdose? I'm curious to see what you say. I thought about Atlantis, but I'm like, I don't know. And Malibu, I think that's like what? Another dupe on JPG, one of those Lebo or Lamar flankers. I have no idea. And there's some other brands. You got your nose on Hawass Thunder? If you have it, what's it like? I did do a little short. I've been trying to find that one, and some places are out of stock. And some say it's similar to YSL Myself Lab Salute. but I've been trying to get my nose on that one, and I don't know. I kinda like the Little Thunder, and then what's the other one? Lava Gold? I just feel like they're doing way too much. It's like they have to compete with all the other Middle Eastern houses. And I don't know. So far, I'm liking Rasasi Hawass Highness. And as how it's pointing this year for me, I really think Hawass Highness is the best dupe I got my nose on this year so far. Missed my chance on that one too. Sometimes I wait too long before making a decision. I saw one day they had Hawass Exotic in stock at Joma Shop, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Just happens. But I did get I did get Highness from Joma Shop, and it got to me within like 2 to 3 days. I was impressed, actually shocked, because the first time I ever ordered from Joma Shop, I waited 2 months, and I was kinda pissed. So that's kinda why I was kinda hesitant, but I did order it, and it got to me in 2 to 3 days, so I got Rayhan Aquatica. I got that from, um, beautyhouse.com. They had it at a decent price, and I pulled the trigger. Yeah, it's shocking. I was shocked I got this fragrance in 2 to 3 days, and I went to my porch, and I looked down, and I'm like, "Holy shit, they got this package to me in 2 to 3 days." That is absolutely amazing. So we'll see if the next fragrance reaches me in time because I did pull the trigger today and I ordered Hawass Overdose. So we'll see if it gets to me in 2 to 3 days or if it's going to be a week, 5 days, whatever. We'll see. I just feel like they're hit and miss. And maybe it's the time, the timing when you place an order, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I've just seen I've just seen, some people get lucky, other people they're stuck waiting. And one of the things I've seen with Joma Shop is how they have a fragrance listed and then it's out of stock and then you pay for it and it's like you're waiting 2 to 3 months. Nah, they should just refund you your money and give it back. And I'm certain they do give it back, but I will never wait 2 months for a fragrance. That just won't happen. Yo, yo, yo. Went Ostrom Nova, first half today. Imperium the second. Hey, what's up, Iceberg? Nice. Ah. Speaking of niche, I don't know what kind of scent profile you really enjoy, but Iceberg, man, you should definitely get your nose on this. Own the Now by Vivamore Parfums, newest release. My homeboy Grimlock got me hip to this. He gave me a recommendation, told me to check it out, and I bought it directly from their website, and it was like $57, and it's pretty damn good. Did any of you guys happen to catch yeah, this new release though, this one is phenomenal. You get this citrus explosion, Sicilian bergamot, Italian mandarin, and it actually sits there for a hot minute. On my skin, it was roughly like a good 20, almost 30 minutes for me, and then that heart came out with this nice spice. It has a unique type of cardamom note there and a little bit of freshness from the apple, but the dry down is what's good. It's, think sandalwood, tonka bean, and sugar with vetiver. It's stupid easy to wear. Are you talking about Lamborghini and Xerjoff? I've seen that on Instagram, and it looks interesting. Yeah, I missed your live stream last night, Gems. Sorry about that. I was hella busy. It's been a minute since I've been on your channel, but one appears, yeah, Xerjoff. I seen 3 on Instagram with Lamborghini and Xerjoff. There's like 3 of them. They look good. They look interesting, something I would like to check out, but yeah, it's just been this past week's just been crazy busy, you know, and I know this week is gonna be a lot more extreme busy. I got a lot of things going on, but I do my best. I reach out when I can, and, you know, just the other day, speaking of that, TLTG Reviews, he had a Member Street live. I had the notifications set, and I just forgot about it. I wasn't home. I was out just enjoying my time, and I was caught up in the moment with other agendas that I couldn't ignore. So I watched the replay, and what did I learn? I won another free giveaway. It's just wild how that works. So I caught up, caught the replay, and I won Les Beaux Narcisse. So there's one new fragrance scratched off my list. So so what is has anybody got their nose on Les Beaux Narcisse? Is it good? Is it shit? Garbage? Is it better than Le Male in Blue? Because that that one's just ugh. And the only other newer niche fragrance I have is, you know, TLTG Reviews' newest one, POB, pleasure or yeah, pleasure over business. That one I absolutely like. Unfortunately, I go nose blind to it, and it just happens. And I wore that to a local festival the same week that I got it, and people walked up and actually asked what I was wearing. Quite a bit of people did, and I got about a solid 8 hours, almost 8 hours on skin, and, yeah, I'm happy I have this one in my this, like, is my go-to. Yeah, definitely check out Gems. He's got some really good content. His live streams are fun. A lot of times people crack jokes, but most of the time he does talk about some interesting stuff. For example, uh, was it Primera Parfums Kuwait? I learned some couple interesting profiles, smoky jazz. I think it was it vanilla leather. There's even some other interesting fragrances from that brand by Primera. Maverick. I was looking up to into some of these fragrances, doing some research. I'm looking to add smoky jazz and Maverick to my wardrobe, especially smoky jazz. That has a beautiful scent profile if you like spices, some sweetness, tobacco, and I think there's some booziness to it, and there's some other interesting notes. Yeah, that's another good brand. So, yeah, hidden gems, man. That's such a good guy, and you should definitely subscribe to his channel, Sips and Sniffs. You can find some good content there too. Sips and Snips. I like that name, Sips and Sniffs. So, and I came across another one. There's another guy that there's another dude that's got good content. And I watched him the other day. He smells like Rome. I like watching him too. What's your highest complimented summer perfume? You know what? I'm gonna have to say is the latest release, although it's a limited run and, well, you might find it on eBay, but you're gonna pay crazy money for it, but currently in 2026, I would have to say this one right here, and I was around people all day. I went to a local festival, and, I had about, you know, 20 some people walk up to me asking what I was wearing, even though I went nose blind to it, sadly, but this is like what, 30% extrait, the Parfum. It's Zaharoff, Pleasure Over Business, and it's such a good one. It opens with a bright, spicy citrus blend of bergamot, coriander, and Szechuan pepper. And then you got some Palo Santo, warm spice, and smooth woods in the base. I get I got about 7.5 to almost 8 hours. It's sold out on the website. It's sold out in 19 days, but you might find it on eBay. You might find it anywhere, but I like this. I really, really like this one. This was one of the ones that got me the most compliments this year since I've got it. And that's just me being 100% honest. And since I wore it at a festival, that did it. Another one would be, of course, it's an easy dumb reach and crazy money. Louis Vuitton Imagination. I feel like anybody can wear Louis Vuitton Imagination and land a compliment. But even Louis Vuitton Imagination, that's another one that gotten me a lot of compliments. uh, let's see. What's another one? I think it would have to be up there. Uh, even though that's discontinued, this is another one that got me compliments. If you like some like Virgin Island water, but better, this is another one that got me mad compliments. Sunkissed Island, TLTG Reviews, and Zaharoff. This is another one that is just that good. Man, every time I put my nose to this one, it's it almost kinda gives me like a a a relaxing feel. It's good. I should have bought a backup of this bottle. I mean, as you can see, I'm starting to get a slight dent to it because I do wear this. And another one that gives me pretty good compliments is this guy right here by Zaharoff. Even though it might not be the most whoops popular by some people, but it would be this one, Zaharoff Seraphim Blue. And as you could see, I do wear this quite a bit, and it's got a pretty decent sized dent. And this is another one that's to me, a unique, different kind of blue fragrance. There's coconut in here, but it doesn't really feel that powdery. It's more airy, but this is a good one. That's another one I got good compliments. But far as the most compliments, I'm gonna have to, stick my guns out and stand firm on it is TLTG Reviews Zaharoff Pleasure Over Business, his other release that I find thicker, richer, more substantial, and more interesting. And it's, the original was decent, but this one is all grown up, and I'm happy I wore it to a local festival. I was able to go, and I knew I was gonna be around people, and I dressed casually, nothing really, you know, fancy. And I was surprised I actually had a lot of people walk up and ask what I was wearing. So, and I'm happy I bought this. It's a good one. Yeah, unfortunately, tariffs, they could be a pain in the butt. And, oh, I forgot I even had this in my collection. It's another fragrance I bought not too long ago, and Imma have to do a full review on it. And I remember a while ago that Stay Fresh Productions had a spring sale, and I took advantage, and I bought something different. And something about this one really stood out to me. It's different when it comes to patchouli, and I wanna say this is by the 7 Virtues. This is patchouli citrus. It's definitely unique. It has a unique character. It's kinda earthy, very green, very herbal, and it has this really nice, dirty, earthy patchouli in the base. Very different. And I got a really good deal on this, and I forgot I had this, and I meant to talk about it not too long a while ago, and it slipped. But yeah, this one is definitely interesting, and shout out to Justin. He never really had time to really check it out or spend time with it, I don't think, but I bought it. And I like this. When it comes to patchouli, the patchouli is actually quite different here. So there I got a bunch of stuff here I still gotta do full reviews on, and I will be having a bunch of new stuff up. I gotta get my review out on this, that Hawas Highness that I actually enjoy. I have a bunch of new fragrances that I need to get a lot of I have a lot of content I need to get done. And like tonight, I'll be after my live stream, I will be busy recording content. And I did land some compliments with this new Rasasi Hawass Highness. Definitely. This got me some compliments. Not enough to really say it's mind blowing, but I do like this. So far, you know, out of all the Rasasi Hawass flankers I own, which is not too many, let's say one, two, three, four. This is my fifth. I think, you know, my top four would be Hawass Verde, Hawass Ice, Hawass Fire, and this one would probably be tied with second place. It's just that damn good. And I just like it that damn much. And it's definitely Suspiro Vibrato all day. It's definitely there. And I can't remember who was saying it was Parfums de Marley Castley. No, that is not. Not even close. I think I saw it on Instagram. Of all places, Parfums de Marley Castley is another great fragrance, but a lot of, it might be a little redundant if you own what, Sedley, maybe Greenlee, Castley's still good. That's another one I would like to own. Have a good one, Joel. And I'm probably gonna eventually shut it down here soon as well, because I got somewhere I gotta be in a few minutes. So for the next 8 minutes, I'll be here, but after that, I'm gonna shut it down as well. So with that being said, um, I thought about checking Hawass Exotic if I could find it. And someone the other day asked if I wanted to check out Latafa, Kamra, Waha. I said no. I passed on that. Hey, what's up, Kara? How's it going? Oh, if you're still here, JJ, Iceberg, uh, you see the new release from Mancera? It will be coming some point in time. Wood season, that's looking good. Imma have to keep my eyes on that, and that one I would definitely pull the trigger on directly from Mancera. That one I definitely want. And, I think the only other Mancera that was pretty good that came out the same time with what, Intense French Riviera was Ombre Tonka. That was pretty decent too. Hey, what's up, Dame? I think Joel left, but yeah. Hmm. Hey, what's up, Joel or Dame? What you been up to, man? Ooh, nice. What's that one like? Is it better than the original? Tell me about it. So far, I think the only Nichene I really enjoy the most is Sultan Vetiver. It's my favorite. It's like dirty, green, earthy, 3 different types of vetiver, 4 different types, I think. It's like my favorite vetiver fragrance. Fan Your Flames is pretty good, and what is it? Saffron Colonies, that is a good one too. I forgot I had that, and it's been a minute since I've worn it too. I might wear that tomorrow because I have a bunch of things I gotta do and places to be all this coming week, so It's gonna be an interesting weekly rotation. This past week was pretty decent too. The following week was really damn good. It's better than the OG. It takes away the oak moss from the OG, which booms off my skin. This one, the pineapple shines more, and the dry down is fantastic. Still beastly as well. Hmm. Well, eventually, maybe I will get both and see which one I like more. I would like to get Fan Your Flame X because I hear that version is good too. But one of my newer niche fragrances that I got in, not too many people are talking about it, is this one right here, Own the Now by Vivamore Parfums. Was a new release, and my buddy Grimlock, one of my best friends outside of content, he texted me and he showed me what he bought, and I asked where he got it, and he got it from the website. And I only paid 57 bucks directly from Vivamore Parfums. I don't know if it's still on sale. They might still have a promotion sale going on, but I paid 57 bucks for this. I jumped on it. And I can see why he likes this. And because I like it. The opening, I get this sharp citrus explosion with Sicilian bergamot, Italian mandarin, and then in the heart, you got this unique um cardamom, kind of different, not your. It's definitely like slightly spicy. It's got Colombian cardamom, and then it's got apple. And the apple here provides enough freshness. It's not sweet, overly sweet, but the dry down is where the magic happens. I like the dry down here. You got sugar, sandalwood, tonka, and Madagascan vetiver. So you got a nice creamy vetiver, and it's like stupid easy to wear. So this is another great fragrance when it comes to, an easy vetiver to wear. Think of like Mancera Vetiver Sensuel, one of the freshest, easiest vetivers to wear on the market. I find this to be another great choice. It would be like second best. Easy to wear. It's just so really, really good. And that opening with the citrus, it sits there for a good minute too. For me, on my skin, with Own the Now, the opening, the top notes stay for a good 25 minutes, which I found kinda interesting. Now, everybody else might not experience that, but it's worth checking out. If you can find a sample, sample it. But if it's still on sale, I find it to be blind buy safe worthy. Although I don't really recommend blind buying unless that is totally something you're into. And if you blind buy, hey, and you like challenges, go for it. But I kind of just don't recommend people doing that. Sometimes I do, and sometimes you can't find samples. But I'm happy to have this in my personal wardrobe. It was a great buy. And the only other Middle Eastern fragrance I did buy, and guess what? Joma Shop actually delivered on time. This one came in about 3 days, 2, 3 days tops, and I got Rasasi Hawass Highness, and I like the name. For a minute when I saw this, when it came in, I'm like, "Highness, where are they going with this? Are they doing, like, something like 420 friendly kinda shit? 'Cause, 420 all day for me, but I like the name, and the bottle's cool looking. Now, I did see kinda people talking about this one. They were saying it was, like, kinda like, Castle. No. I get more vibrato here, and I have to agree with one of my newer subs that commented on my first impression short. I do agree with him. Slightly fresh for me, but more spicy ginger forward with a beautiful floral woody dry down. But I get all vibrato. So I don't really get Tigar here. And two, I'm kind of slightly familiar with Tigar, not 100%, but I really get more Suspiro vibrato here than anything. And it's a beautiful scent. I had a sample of Suspiro vibrato. I only had one spray out of it. So when I got this, the day it came, I sprayed vibrato here and I sprayed this here. And I spent the day comparing. I definitely get more vibrato. So it's worth having. Yeah, it's decent. I like it. It was worth grabbing. And I did pull the trigger today at Joma Shop. I bought Hawas Overdose. Now, the only reason why I bought that one is one, I don't own anything from what Fragrance World, French Avenue, Liquid Brune, or the X-Ray. Didn't want to get them. So I ended up going with Hawas Overdose, and I pulled the trigger on that one. And I'm kind of curious to see if it's going to be like a spicy vanilla. And because I'm not too huge on vanilla fragrances as it is, and I think the only one I forgot I had a vanilla fragrance that I do enjoy. And it's Mercedes Benz Mercedes Benz Club Black Eau de Parfum. That one I like. And I guess I could say MFK Grand Soir is, ambery vanillic. That would be another one. And Mancera Royal Vanilla. It's like a caramel vanilla kind of dry down. Another good fragrance. And Explicit Vanilla. That is another one I like by, far as vanilla goes. You're a huge Hawass fan. Uh, I enjoy some of the Hawass flankers. Not all of them, but some. And you know what? Being a content creator and all, if you're gonna do fragrance, and not everybody does, but you kind of got to dabble around and get your nose in everything, especially when you do comparison videos. Hey, what's up, Buff? How's it going? I'm just saying, you know, if you're gonna do content, you gotta get your nose on everything, especially, because you're gonna end up with some people who don't want to buy the originals and just want dupes and want budget cologne. Makes sense, right? I like the Rasasi Hawass line. I think I own 5 of them as of right now. Um, did I pre-order? Yes, I did. Absolutely. Um, speaking of GZ, I was talking to him last week, and it's a funny conversation in a way. Um, I was in the mood for, what was it, Mexican? And I noticed we have a restaurant out here called Coco Locos, and it made me think of Coco Loco. And I told George about it, and I did tell him, I said, I think Gusto Limone deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for 2026 for being probably one of his best releases of the year. But yeah, I bought that. I definitely did took advantage of the presale. So I can't wait till that comes in. I know I'm gonna enjoy that one. There's no doubt. That was worth pulling the trigger on. And far as the only other you know, the other released, Pleasure Over Business, I absolutely fucking like that one. Excuse my language. That was a good one to pull the trigger on too, and I met up with some peeps, friends, went to a local festival, and I was actually shocked by the reaction I actually got wearing that fragrance because it doesn't always happen like that. So, I'm happy to own that one. Solo. Cheers. Hey, what's up, Kicks? What you got going on lately? It's been a minute. Actually, it's been a minute since I've been watching the channel you do with Dutch. I haven't really had time to catch up with a lot of people's content lately. I just, it happens. I'm just a busy guy lately, unfortunately. And other than that, um, what other fragrances have you guys recently got your nose on that's worth checking out? Got any recommendations? Um, Here's a fragrance brand I heard of and recently picked up on from my last live stream I'm not familiar with. Maybe you guys are. Arabian Oud. Have any of you guys got your nose on anything from them? I seen one in particular I thought about checking out, and I hear Arabian Oud is pretty damn good. I thought about checking out Saffron Oud. It looks interesting, and I'm curious to see how that one is. Invictus Elixir next. Is it worth it? Okay. Which ones do you own from Arabian Oud? Well, okay. Yeah, one of my new subscribers, he said you should definitely get your nose into Arabian Oud. They have some pretty interesting stuff. They're pretty good for a Middle Eastern niche house. Hmm. Imma write those down. In fact, let me get a pen. I'll be right back. 'Cause I definitely wanna check some of those out. Do I got a pen here? Get a pen. Where are these fucking gotta be kidding me. Really? No fucking pens. Cocksuckers. Oh well. This will have to do. Oh, I just love how pens just come up missing all the fucking time. Hmm. I thought about saffron oud. That one caught my nose, my attention. Oh, that works. I should do that too. It's just, sometimes I have a bunch of pens, but sometimes they just come up missing. Killian Black Phantom. See, there's another brand I never really got into all that much. Oh, wow, that's cool, Kara. Well, that's awesome. I have tried Oud Nude by Guerlain. Huh, I only own one by Guerlain. Vanilla Oud, Rose. I saw some other fragrance by Arabian Oud. I think it was called Vanilla something, Vanilla Rose. I might be too girly, might be too feminine. I don't know. However, Olfactory LLC has some pretty decent prices on Arabian Oud, and eventually I want to check some out, see what they're about. And I think the only Killian fragrance I do like from the boozy line is Angel Share on the Rocks. It's the only one I really find the most appealing to me. Besides Angel Share Parody, that was pretty good. The original was decent, but, you know, I think there was another one that I kinda did like was, if I could remember the name correctly because, I think Sensual Obsessions actually duped it. And I think it's, Black it might be Black Phantom, maybe? Might be that one. I like to get my nose on the original because I bought, Kevin's version at Obsessions. Alpha Male, whew, talk about leather. That one definitely paints the picture of me when I'm out riding wearing a leather vest because that's the kind of smell I get. Yeah, it is. That is a good one. And I've had that one for quite a bit some time, and it is strong and potent. That one definitely, the vibe I get here with this one, it's like you know, putting on a leather vest and heading out that damn door and just enjoying the ride into a sunset. This is good. Straight gas. What is my favorite Zerjoff? Speaking of Zerjoff, my favorite out of them all that I own? Oh man. Well, let's see. I only own 6 of them. My favorite one would be besides my signature scent. My absolute favorite is Tony Iommi Deified. It's my favorite one. Absolute favorite. You know, leather, rose, and I think there's papyrus in here. It's my absolute favorite one. My most favorite, should I say. I like this more than Monkey Special. And out of them all, far as signature scent worthy, that would be Torino 22. It's another good one. So, absolute favorite though would be Tony Iommi Deified. Hands down. It's just so damn good. Yeah, Torino 22, man. Shout out to Dutch. He got me hip to that one. That is such a good one. Torino 22. That is fire. There's another one, kind of like I would say maybe I would kind of say Torino 23 is under the radar, slightly underrated. Not many people talk about this because you kind of get this like camphor like scent to it, kind of powdery in a way, but fresh at the same time. I haven't spent much time with it. I gotta do my full review and I'll get around to it, but this one's kind of interesting too by Zerjoff. Smells really good. Torino 23 is another good one if you you like a camphor-like scent with a little bit of sweetness and powderiness. This is pretty good. It almost has like this, like I wouldn't say bubblegum-like sweetness, but it's got some sweetness in there. And the other Zerjoff that's good, I do like too, is 40 knots. That is exceptional, phenomenal. That is a good one. Another phenomenal fragrance. And there's a lot of good Zerjoffs out there. There's plenty I want. There is so many different Zerjoffs I will eventually add over time. Just, right now, there's only a few things on my radar that really has my full attention. What is that? You have a 10 mil, but want a full bottle. Yeah, they do. Zerjoff has so many. I like a lot of their hidden gems. I look at their hidden gems on their website and I try and find them. And, you know, the other one I would like to get, the other one besides Mephisto, the other one with Rose, I want that one. And I think, what is it? Not Renaissance. Zafiro, I think it is. I think it has wine must in it. I would like to get my nose on that. Hey, Wild Vetiver's good. I bought a little 2 mil decan of it. I like it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's actually probably one of Creed's best releases, in my honest opinion. It's a nice, fresh, like floral take on vetiver. It's fucking good. And that's me being honest. It's a good one. I like that. I would like to get a bottle some point in time. Eventually I will, but um I also want to get speaking of that, Unique Luxury. Unique Luxury, Burrell. That one I plan on grabbing soon. I had a sample of it, and I spent a good amount of time with that one, and I wanna add that to my personal wardrobe. But I have, like, a personal connection to it, and I don't wanna really go too deep into that portion, but Burrell by Unique Luxury, I would consider a hidden gem, kinda highly underrated, but man, is it a beautiful scent. And I'm pretty it's almost like, on my skin, it was like, think like a honeyed, like, rose with citrus for kinda like an aquatic, almost like scent. Burrell is a beautiful fragrance by Unique Luxury. That's another house. And, I'm definitely probably gonna add the newest release from Gallagher, Emerald Rendezvous, and, that is man, shout out to Daniel Gallagher, man, if you see my live stream, man, does he do amazing work. Gallagher Fragrance, I really like what David Gallagher does, or Daniel Gallagher, should I say. I don't know why I keep calling him David. His name's Daniel. He has some amazing skills. He works with different types of florals. I don't see too many people working with tulip or some other florals, and I'm a huge fan of what is it? Amongst Waves by Gallagher, and then he came out when Ginfinity, Emerald Rendezvous. I was lucky to even get my nose. I had like a free sample pack sent my way to check out and spend time with. And there's a couple of those I want to add, but other than that, I haven't really been going too crazy. I haven't really been jumping out at all these releases, you know? I haven't really just I'm not just buying everything that comes out. Ginfinity, um, that one's yeah, Ginfinity is really, really nice, you know? Uh, Kinda get this, like, saltiness from the gin, then you got some cucumber water and, coastal botanicals in the background. Almost like, think of having a cocktail sitting by the beach. It's inspired by him and his wife's favorite, Scottish gin. I forget the name of the brand, and he was inspired to create a fragrance of his favorite Scottish gin, and I think I have it off to the side, but it's got, like, this really nice opening with gin, kinda salty in a way, clean, aquatic, and then it's got this really nice suede dry down. But it's, kinda got that, like, new suede dry down, like a brand new suede pair of shoes. Well, other than that, it's really good. Should definitely sample it and check it out. No, I haven't, and I'm waiting on my little sample pack from my buddy Grimlock to send my way. I think he threw in there Blood Orange by ATH, Aaron Terrence Hughes. I haven't smelled anything from him. But, I think the only fragrance I have that has gin in it is Argos Pour Homme, which is the only one I own, and it's my favorite one. It's very regal. I'll say that much. Argos Pour Homme. That is very regal. Oh, YSL Baby Cat. Yeah, that's definitely a good one there. I can't argue with that. I smelled it at Saks Fifth before they went out of business, which sucks that they went out of business by me. I can't go there no more, but that was a good one. And that's another one, Baby Cat and Tuxedo. I need those 2. And maybe that sometime down the road, that other one they came out with, what is that? That Patchouli 69 Extrait, whatever the fuck they released. But, um, are any of you guys familiar with Creed Royal Mayfair? I hear that one's pretty good. I was talking to a buddy of mine on Instagram. He really enjoys Royal Mayfair, and I was looking at the scent profile. It has gin in it. That's something I would like to check out. Maybe I could find a sample, get my nose on it, and see what that one's about. I think currently my favorite Creed that I currently own is that Royal Water. It's my favorite one. And other than that, I think Imma shut it down. And wow, another 2-hour live stream, I think. Think it's been almost 2 hours, somewhere around there. But yeah, I think Imma shut it down. I got somewhere I gotta be. Actually, I'm kinda late. I got a little get together I gotta get to. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in, tapping in, and all that fun stuff. Um, if you want and you want to give me some recommendations to check out, all you guys who are still here, just drop a comment on the post page and, I'll add it to my list and I'll check it out. Will, you, anybody, just drop a comment of some houses, some scents I should check out and go from there. So, till next time, you guys enjoy your night. Stay safe. God bless, and smell your damn best.